So hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is Ndea J, and this video is part 2 of my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter series. So in part 1, I shared a little bit about why I'm doing the declutter, and we went through the first layer of my shelving unit, so all of this, so ignore anything you see there, we've already gone through. The video will be linked in the description box, so if you want to catch up on that one, go ahead. But let's just jump right into part 2. So I'm going to start this way. First palette is this one from Morphe, and this is the 9T palette, which looks like this. So this is the 9T palette. I do like this palette. I've used it. I do have a video on my YouTube channel. It's a really nice neutral palette, but I know I have something similar to this. But this is just a quick and easy on the go eyeshadow palette, and I've been doing quite a little bit of traveling, so I'm gonna hang on to this because it does come in handy when traveling, so I'm gonna keep that one. Before we even really get into this one, I do want to say that I do have a lot of my Morphe palettes and Louise and Juvia Space, so this might not be as good as the first part in terms of the amount of eyeshadows that I get rid of, because I really do like Morphe's formula. But you know, I'm still gonna show you the collection. So this is the Morphe 18B Breaking Bank, no, Making Bank eyeshadow palette, and I do like this palette. I do like the greens, and I love the yellow, and I did use this quite a few times. But this isn't that special to me that I feel the need to reach for it. So I'm going to declutter this palette. Yep, I'm absolutely going to declutter it. I do have other green eyeshadow palettes that I prefer. This one is nice, but it's just not where I want to be. So this is going. Let's see. This is the 18F1. I like this one. So this is the one. In my previous video, I likened it to the Norvina palette, but it's a little bit richer and the colors are a little bit darker in my opinion. So I haven't really played with this palette too much. I know I've swatched it a few times, but I haven't really used it. So I am going to hang on to this one. Hopefully we'll get some use out of it. Next up, I've got this palette from Dido Cosmetics, and I'm so bad. I still have not used this palette, and this is the Venus palette. It's the limited edition palette. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I never even like swatched it or anything. It's just absolutely stunning. And at this point, I don't think I'm going to use, maybe I used it once. Maybe I used it once on TikTok. I'm not even sure. But to be honest, at this point, I'm really not going to use it, and it's really bad. So I'm not going to hang on to it. So I'm going to declutter that one. We've got a few 35 pan palettes. The first one is the 35G Bronze Gold palette. And I picked this up because I originally had the Bronze Gold in the limited edition packaging, and it got old, but I used that palette to bits. I absolutely loved it. This one has just been out of sight, out of mind type of thing. I prefer the colored Morphe palettes because then, you know, you're just kind of drawn to it. The black packaging, not so much. So I am going to hang on to it because I bought this one to replace the Bronze Gold palette that I absolutely loved. So I'm going to hang on to that. Next up, I've got the 3503 palette. I already know which one this is. This is the Fierce by Nature palette, and it looks like this. It's so pretty. I'm not even gonna lie, those oranges look so stunning. The glitter in the middle was just not called for. The greens as well, not necessary. This is a stunning palette. I think I'm really drawn to the middle row, so I'm gonna put this one in a maybe pile because I don't know if I've got, I know my P. Louise palettes, I do have brights, and I did compare these palettes, but I'll hang on to that for now and see where we go. Next is the 35P palette, and this is the Plum Pleasers. Definitely keeping this one. I don't have any palette like this, like with the plums and the purples. with the shimmers, and I just don't have any palette like this. I'm definitely keeping this. I love this one. I haven't really used it, maybe once or twice, if any, at all. So I'm definitely keeping that one. Next is the 35M. This is the Boss Mood. Is it? Yeah, the Boss Mood palette, which looks like this. I don't think you can get your hands on this palette anymore, and I have used it quite a bit. So I'd rather this palette than the Making Bank, because the greens in this one is a lot more intense, and you've got a really good variety of greens and neutral colors. Don't know what the quality of this is like anymore because I've had it for a little while, but I am going to keep it because I really do like this palette and I do use it. So let's do some of these ones on top so that it just doesn't collapse. Right, so I do have the Revolution Lion King palette, which looks like this. I don't think I've used it. I've not even opened, no way. No, I've opened it. I was gonna say that I've not even opened it. I do think that the Lion King packaging is by far one of the prettiest collaborations with Disney. I like the color story of this one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, but realistically, I've used it once, I think. Am I gonna use it any more than the one time? Have I even used it? Maybe. Do you know what? I don't think I've used this one. I know there was one that I used. Maybe it's not this one. But anyway, am I going to use this? Probably not. So, let's not hang on to her. We're not doing that. So she's leaving the collection. I do have this mini one as well. I do have a few more. Oh, this one I'll probably keep. This is the Jungle Princess one. The packaging on this is absolutely cute. So stinking cute. And I do like small palettes now. I know, who am I? I haven't even removed the film on this one. But the greens in here, it's so pretty, It's cute, it's pretty, it's small. I'll probably keep this one. Because I do want to have something. From the collection, so this one I'm gonna keep. It's so cute. While I'm here, might as well get the other one. So these two as well. Let's start with I Walk on the Wild Side, which looks like this. Oh, it's so adorable. This one's pink and orange, and this is the least likely one that I would use. So because it's got the pinks in it, I'm not really a pink lover. I think I've finally accepted. So that one can go. And then the last one, this is Circle of Life. This one's very fierce. I love, this is the type of packaging I expect from Revolution. Quite a bit of effort. This one I'm gonna keep. This one's interesting. You've got the red, orange, there's blues. This one's cute. This one I'm gonna keep. This one has some interesting colors in it. So I'm going to keep those ones and get rid of the other two. I think that's good. Right, I did pick up the new Empowered palette from Huda Beauty. Now listen, it's been a hot minute since I've bought any Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. Only because I've not felt compelled to buy them. Like, her releases, they've been cute, but I've not really felt compelled. Huda's known to be very innovative with her products. So this one definitely piqued my interest. I was like, okay, Huda, I like this nice matte cover, and then the inside is so interesting to me The formula of these shadows is so interesting to me. Absolutely interesting. I can't wait to play with it. I think she really pushed the boat out with innovation when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. I don't know anybody else other than Huda that plays with texture as much as she does. Like, and her packaging is always sick anyway. I love it. So, and it's quite weighty. It's got a really good weight to it. It doesn't feel cheap. Um, so I am excited to use it. So I don't know which video is gonna go up, if it's this one or the review, but either way, I am going to review it. You know how I do. So that's gonna happen. Couple more palettes on the top here. This one's another one from Dido Cosmetics. This is Brick Fun. This one's really cute. And I kept this because the shapes kind of look like an owl, and I love owls. And it's so pretty. It's so interesting to me. Look at that. I'll probably keep this one, being that I've got rid of the limited edition one. But this is so interesting to me, and I just haven't used it, but I will use it because I do feel like it's super fun looking and super interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is looking pretty hard so far. The first layer was easy, but this one's looking pretty hard. Next, I've got the Lime Crime Greatest Hits Classic. This is supposed to be a collection of the greatest hits from the other eyeshadow palettes. I do have a video on my YouTube channel using this, and I did enjoy it, particularly for this time of the year. So like autumn, winter months. So I'm definitely keeping this one because it's a nice small enough eyeshadow palette, and I absolutely love the look that I created using that one. Next is the Wine and Only from Colourpop. I've only used this a handful of times, and those times I did enjoy it. I think that it's a really nice eyeshadow palette for the season. I really love the colors. It's not something that I wear all year round. It's definitely something that I reach for the autumn and winter months, and I don't have that many Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. So I am gonna keep this one because I do enjoy this, and I think it's really nice. Next is this one, which I don't even think I've used. Probably used one color. This is the Star Wars Mandalorian eyeshadow palette. It is so pretty. I fell in love with it immediately when I saw it, and I had to have it. And I've only used it a handful of times, if at all. And it's predominantly this color. So I am gonna keep this one. I do love it. Green is my heart. I love it, so I'm keeping it. So next is another Morphe 35 palette. This is the 35W, and I think this one came broken. So yeah, I had one broken shadow, and then I was completely put off by it. Like once one shadow breaks in a palette, it just puts me off. And this one didn't really blow my mind. Like there wasn't anything memorable or too exciting. These are colors that I've seen many a time in Morphe palettes. So this one I will declutter. It's honestly it's brand new, haven't used it. Only one broken shadow, and I cleaned it out and I just didn't use it. So we'll be letting go of that one. Next is the 35F Fall Into Fabulous palette. And this one I've used quite a bit. I love this one. I love the neutral take on this one. There's a lot of shimmers in this one with a very small handful of mattes on either side, and oops, and one at the bottom with a bit of shimmer in it. I do like this palette. I did use it a few times. The shimmers are really, really pretty. I'll hang on to it for now. No, I'm gonna hang on to it. I really like it. I did enjoy it. There was nothing wrong with the colors. It worked for me, and it looked really, really nice on the eyes. So be hanging on to that one. Morphe, this is the 35O Supernatural Glow. This one's another one that I enjoy. And this is the one that I used more often. This was when I was creating videos on YouTube, which I know I need to get back to. That's all right. I do like this one. Love this side of the palette. I use it quite often. I love that you've got like the warmer side and you've got more of like the cool tone side. This is a really nice palette. I know somebody out there is gonna say there's no difference between this one and the other Morphe palettes, but trust me, I see a difference, and I'm just not ready to part ways with a lot of my Morphe palettes. There are some that I'm just like, it can go, but then there's some, every time I look at them, it just makes me happy. And why would I want to get rid of Joy? So I'm gonna keep that one. Next is the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is oh yeah, this is the newer formulation. And there's just something about this palette that just makes it the perfect, like the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This is kind of like the big sister, do you know what I mean? With more colors and more flexibility, more blending shades. I absolutely love the color story. I think Jaclyn Hill did an amazing job with this palette. I would have loved to see quads of this. I can already see these 4 colors as a quad, these 4 as a quad, and I'd have loved to see quads of this, just for ease of use or travel. But either way, I do love this eyeshadow palette. I am gonna keep it. Got a big Morphe palette now. This is the 39A palette, and I used this palette quite a bit. Yes, I did. I really love the can barely get it in. I really love the colors of this one as well. Nice and deep colors. Love the blue, love the neutral shades. I am not ready to part with it. I definitely need to use it more, but I'm not ready to let go, so I'm keeping. My God. Anyway, right. So I've got the Beauty Bay Evolve 42 color eyeshadow palette. And I really like this one because it's very neutral, heavy. You've got some beautiful colors and some shimmers down there, but realistically, I love Beauty Bay palettes, but I have another one, I think. I think I do have another one that is more cool tone. So I'm gonna put this one in a maybe pile in case if I'm making it up that I have another one. I'm pretty sure I do, because I'm not gonna see myself reaching for this as much. I do have other Beauty Bay palettes, so this actually no maybe pal. I'm going to declutter it. Yeah, because I'm not gonna get the use out of it, and there's no point. So she's going. Next up, I've got this cute one from Stella, and this is the Blue Realm eyeshadow palette, and I used it during the holiday season last year, and I absolutely loved it. I used it with some glitter, and it was just so pretty and so easy to apply. Don't really care for the matte shades. They didn't do much for me, but you see those shimmers? Very beautiful. So I'm going to keep it because it's a really nice party palette. If you want to go from neutral daytime look to going out, you can just pop that on the lid and you're good to go. Next, I've got this one from ASA Beauty. This is the Joshua Tree Desert Matte eyeshadow palette. This is a full matte eyeshadow palette. And when you are talking about pigmentation, I know it might not be a looker, but trust me, these eyeshadows blend really nicely and they're so, so pigmented. This is a really good eyeshadow palette, and I'm not ready to get rid of it. I think it works really well, and I'm just a sucker for these travel size palettes nowadays, so I'm gonna hang on to this one. All right, let's go. So next I've got this palette from Huda. This is the Nude Rich palette. I love this palette. It's so cute. I just wish it was a little bit brownish nude. It's more of like your red nude. Do you know what I mean? With the shimmers, I just feel like it just needed a bit of gold, bit more brown in there. But I still love it. It's a nice, cute little palette to travel with. Or quick and easy eyeshadow palettes. Look, if you work remote, or you work in the office and you're looking for on the go eyeshadow palettes, or just quick and easy eyeshadow palettes that don't dictate you having to think about different eye combinations, opt for smaller eyeshadow palettes. I promise you. Like, there are so many combinations you can do, but you can definitely stick to the same routine with smaller eyeshadow palettes without feeling guilty that you're not using all the other colors. So trust me, invest in cute little eyeshadow palettes that have a good balance of neutrals and shimmers. Yes. This one I used and abused, and I still love it so much. I have tutorials up on my YouTube channel, and this is the Genesis palette by Midas Cosmetics and Drench. This is your brown girl, black girl friendly, neutral with colors, good balance of neutral and colorful eyeshadow palette. I created so many looks with this palette. I love it so much. I did different combinations on Instagram, on YouTube, because it is that gorgeous. Um, if you can still get your hands on it, I definitely recommend if you're looking for a good eyeshadow palette that combines colors and you can still get neutral looks from. That's a really good one. Next, I've got this one from Ofra. This is the collaboration with I forget her name, but yeah, she's an influencer, and this one's called Caribbean Glitz. Now, I like this color combination. I do have a quick fire review on my TikTok. I do feel like the eye colors are super stunning, including the highlighter in the middle. However, the blush and this bronzer, you can definitely use them as eyeshadow colors. You don't have to use them for what they are. But for it to be a full face palette, I would need these two to work for me, for their major intended purpose, which is to use as face products, but they don't. It's not my color. So sometimes I want to reach for it, but then, when I'm traveling, but then I still have to pack the face product. So I don't know. So I wished there was an option for a darker shade. I still don't have any dark enough face palette like this from Ofra, but the eye colors are gorgeous, including the highlighter. So because of that, I did enjoy this. So I am gonna hang on to this. I think this is a really, really good um mini mix palette from Ofra. I got rid of quite a few of them, but this one I genuinely love. Got this palette from Terra Moon Cosmetics. This is the El Barrio. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Apologize if I didn't. And I love the packaging on this one. It's absolutely stunning. I created a few looks on Instagram, not on YouTube or anything, just Instagram, but the colors are absolutely gorgeous. It's just so fun, so bright, so fun, so pretty, colorful palette. So I'm gonna keep this. You know, I'm keeping it. I love it. I feel like the pigmentation is amazing. Next, I've got the Tati's Pro Remix palette from Tarte. I haven't really used this too much. I know I've used a few of the shimmer shadows. Oops, but I haven't really used this as much. So I think I'm going to keep it for now and see how much I use. Come like mid-year next year when I do another declutter, if I haven't used it as much, then I'll probably let it go. But because it's so fun, and to be honest, this year was pretty much a write-off for me. I didn't do that many looks. Come April, I think was my last video. I just went, no, life just got so busy. I couldn't do so many videos. So I do feel like I didn't get the opportunity to really use the palettes that I said I wanted to use. So I kind of have to give it another go. Next is the Huda BC Topaz Obsession palette. I love this one. This is another pocket easy travel. This is like a really good neutral eyeshadow palette. I've used this. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this one, and I'll keep this one because I do like it. These are quick palettes, and I do want to do more quick, easy, get up and go type of makeup looks, which I'm really known for. I don't know why. You see, this is part of the thing. I kind of feel like I lost myself a little bit on YouTube. I don't know why I was trying to do like more of the creative eye looks. Those are fun, but they're not practical. My everyday practical as somebody who has a full-time job is the quick get up and go. I don't want to think too much. A little bit of a smoky eye, spotlight eye if I'm feeling funky. you know, and just keep it simple, stupid type of look. So we're gonna get back to that. You know, we're definitely gonna get back to that because that's really what my channel is known for. Keep it simple, stupid. I've been doing a lot of those looks on TikTok. So if you follow me on TikTok, I'm sure you've been enjoying them. Next is the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsession. I love this one too. This one is so cute. I've used this one really well. Really well. I love the darker tones. It's probably not as great a quality as it was before, probably because I've had this for a long time, but I'm still keeping it. I think it's a really good eyeshadow palette, and the next time I use it, if the quality is compromised, then I'll chuck it. But for now, I'm keeping. I've got a few Jaclyn Hill smaller palettes. So this is the Dark Magic palette. I love this one, especially at this time of the year. I've used it a few times now. I've used it with other eyeshadow palettes. Love the grunginess of this one. I'm definitely keeping. I'm keeping. That's all I hear myself say. I'm definitely keeping. The next one is the Bling Boss, which is the purple one, I want to say. Yep. This one I've used maybe once, which is probably this end color. So yeah, we're gonna keep this one. And I repurchased these because the one I had was the Vault, you know, the entire eyeshadow palette, and it just didn't work for me. I was one of the few unlucky ones. So I decluttered that, and then somebody said they changed the formula, and then I tried the Dark Magic, and it was amazing. So I bought the Bling Boss, and that last shadow was really, really nice. So touch wood, it's going to stay looking nice. I've got these fun palettes from Colored Rain. I did show the neutral one in the first video. This is Neutral Chick palette in sunsets, and I created a look using all of these on my YouTube channel, so definitely have a look. This one's nice and bright, colorful, summer spring type of look. I am keeping all of these because they performed really well, and I think Colored Rain did a great job with these mini palettes. I've got that one. I've got the pretty pink one. So this is Pretty Chick, which is the least likely one you would think I'll keep, but there's a purple in there, and there's a red, so it's not really too in your face type of pink. You know, it's a really good balance, and I really love the shimmer shadow, so I'm gonna keep this one. I'm definitely keeping those two. All right, I knew I had a lot of shadows here, but crikey. Next is another Morphe one. This is the 9L Lavandaise. It's a purple palette. Girl, I have not used this one, but just look at the sheer beauty of it. I know they've come out, or since then, they've come out with the colorful packaging, but the shadow is still the same. So, I'm gonna hang on to this one. I haven't used it. I haven't given it a try. I haven't dipped my brush in it. This one from Juvia's Place, this is the Mauves. If you know, you know. This is one of my favorites from Juvia's Place. I use this. The quality of this is not as great. I've used it quite recently, and the mattes were a little bit difficult to blend. So it is depreciating in quality, but I can still get some use out of it. I think the shimmers are still pretty, so I'm going to hang on to this one. And a couple more Morphe palettes. This one is the 9J Just a Crush palette. And this is the pinky one. This is the one that I normally use alongside the Mauves palette from Morphe when I want something a little deeper. I do like this. I've used it once or twice. I am going to keep this one. It works really well with the Juvia's Place palette. This one is the 9K Khaki Culling. I love this one as well. Neutral with the green. I like this. This is a really, really fun palette. I've used this a few times and created really pretty looks using this. So I'm going to keep this one as well. Keep the P. Louise palettes till last because they're nice and big. Next, I've got a Natasha Denona Love palette. 9 Natasha Denona palettes are not going anywhere. I do have a video on my YouTube channel using this one, but I definitely need to use it more. It's such a pretty palette. It's so stinking cute. So I'm definitely going to get some more use out of it, but I absolutely love it, so keeping. Next, I've got this Zendo palette from Natasha Denona. Again, I've created a few looks on YouTube using this one, and I enjoy it. I think it's so pretty. I do like that it's like neutrals, and then you've got the greens on the side. I did get some use out of this one, so I'm definitely keeping. Next is the Ace Beauty Oceanic palette. I know that they've reformulated this, and the one that I've got is pretty old. Not old, but it's older. I've only ever used this a handful of times. You can even tell that the shimmers haven't really been touched. Because it's the only palette I have from Ace Beauty, I am gonna, am I gonna hang on to it? I don't know. Let me put it in the maybe pile because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or not. Okay. So next I've got the Colored Rain X Power eyeshadow palette. This is hella old. It's so old, but I don't care. She's still looking like a banger. You know, there's some color stories that are just eternal. This is eternal. This is such a beautiful eyeshadow palette. I don't feel the need to get rid of it. I haven't tried it recently to see what the quality is like, but I am going to keep it because I haven't got a reason to get rid of it. So she's staying. She's a banger. Next is this Rose Messel from Lois Cosmetics. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you know that I talk about this brand all the time. I absolutely love this particular eyeshadow palette because this is the only one from the brand that I've tried. And it goes without say that I have used and loved this palette. I still use this palette. I still love it. I like to use it this time of the year. I also like to use it for Valentine's. It's so pretty. You can also use it as an everyday palette because of the neutral shadows, but because I've got so many neutral palettes, I tend to always reach for it whenever I do like my shop my stash for the new season, you know, eyeshadow palettes I'm going to be reaching for, that type of thing. This one always makes it Valentine season or autumn season. Definitely keeping. Next, I've got some Juvia's Place palettes. So I have the Berries palette, which looks like this. I still love Juvia's Place palettes, so I'm definitely keeping all of them. I'm pretty sure I'll be keeping them all. This is the Violets palette. This one is my least favorite because I feel like I have to dig my brush, like really dig my brush into this to get the quality, to get the pigmentation, but when I do, it's still a beauty, so I'm keeping this one as well. This one's new. This is the Mariposa. This is the La Mariposa collaboration. I love this one as well. Haven't used it, but the color is so pretty. Perfect for spring, summer. Look at that glitter. Like, look at how he just changes the light to like warm colors. Perfect for spring, summer, honestly. Beautiful curation. I've got the Nomad palette, which is perfect for this season. It looks absolutely stunning. It's so pretty. So pretty. This is why I definitely needed to do this because I need to see what I've got. I've kind of almost forgotten what I've got in my collection because it's been so long. Next is the Sweet Pinks. Again, I like to use this one with the Mauves palette as well, but she's beautiful on her own. She's a gorgeous little thing. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Keeping. This one, the Nubian Royal. Haven't used this one yet. I'll probably use it with the lilacs, like the purple one. So pretty. Keeping. All right, we're getting there. I've got two from Colored Rain. Got the Rose Garden. I have videos on YouTube about these. These are pretty. They might look similar, but They might look the same, but they're just similar. They're different. They've got their own personality. So this is Rose Garden. Again, another beautiful neutral eyeshadow palette. Like you could always do a neutral smoky matte eye or a smoky gold lid, green lid. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many color combinations just by using a little cute little palette like this without having to worry about combining colors. So I'm keeping that one. Next is the Botanicals, which looks like this. This one's a little bit more challenging in terms of color combination, but again, you can stick to your smoky outer corner. Always use the darker color in the outer corner. Use this to blend. You can pop this on the lid or pop any of the shimmers on the lid and you are good to go. Gorgeous. Keeping. Do have a few MAC palettes. I don't use them. I'm just keeping them for nostalgic reasons. I wonder what they would be like if I tried to use them. Some of them are so old. This is the Mariah Carey one. I know. This is the second Mariah Carey one. Do you know what? I might try these palettes one day and see. This is the Cinderella one. This back then was everything. And then this is the Rihanna one. So I just keep this at the back of my collection. I don't use them, but I just keep them for nostalgic purposes because I used to be really into the MAC collaborations and buying every quad or every eyeshadow palette, and so many other fun shadows came out and I stopped. So next we've got some eyeshadow like magazines, books from eUnique. You've got the festive one. This is the one from last year's Christmas. In each one, there are 3 eyeshadow palettes. You can buy them individually. So let's quickly go through them. I do have a video like for each one showing the collection. This one is Dark Souls. The artistry on the packaging is just stunning. And this is what it looks like. It is perfect for the season, to be honest. Now that I look at it, so many cool things that we could do, so many quick fun looks. Time, you guys. If I was a creator full time, you guys would be sick of me. Next is this is the warm one. This is the warm autumn. Looks gorgeous. I love this one. And the last one in this one is "'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la." So pretty. Perfect Christmas palette. Okay, next one is the Japan one. This is the Fashion Japan. 3 palettes in there again. This one, I think I had a broken shadow. So this one is volume 1. So let's be careful. Packed really tight, but it's the quality for me. It's beautiful. Volume 2. Okay, this is the one that came slightly broken. Still pretty though. There is a video on my YouTube channel if you're really interested in like swatches and seeing them in action. Volume 3. Volume 3 is fun. Like this is nice. This is a pretty color. And then this one is the Fashion Africa palette. This one's fun as well. Got this one. I created quite a number of looks using these ones. These are so pretty. Tribes. Ooh. Neutral. Roots. Oh, yeah. I dug my finger into that one, definitely. But look at that blue. Stunning. And then this one is the spring cleaning palette. It's got Bubble Time. This is pretty with the greens. Also got Me, Myself, and I. And then you've got Pamper Me. So cute. All of which are not leaving my collection. Too pretty. Okay. Next, we've got some BH Cosmetics palettes. I've got Paris palette. There's a video on my YouTube channel. This might not look like much in the pans, but trust me, the pigmentation of this palette is off the chain. It's absolutely stunning. I love this beautiful palette. I'll take it with me to Paris when I do go to Paris and be like, I'm in Paris and I'm using a Paris palette. And then the Blueberry Muffin, another wonderful pigmentation. Like BH Cosmetics knocked it out of the park with these palettes. Too bad that they've gone into administration, I think. Don't quote me. Remember, I'm not really in tune with makeup news recently, but look at that. So pretty. Again, I had to create looks with these palettes because of how gorgeous they are. So it is on YouTube. You can definitely check them out. And then this one as well, Avocado Toast. So pretty. This one's green. Green, green, green. Look at that. Oops. Stunning. I don't even need to tell you. They are staying in the collection. That's for sure. So we've got Juvia's Place palettes left. This is a Saharan 2 by Juvia's. I've had this one for quite a while. So it's not going anywhere. I don't think the quality is compromised, I don't think, but yeah, she's pretty, so she's not going anywhere. Festive, oops, festive palette looks like this. Very fun, very colorful. This is probably my least used palette just because I need an accompanying palette to use it, but I don't mind. These pans are so generous and the pigmentation of Juvia's Place palettes are insanely good. Insanely good. Keeping that. This one, Nubian 3 Coral. This one's a weird color combo, but we like her for who she is, with the peachy neutrals and the gray. You know, again, I see no reason to get rid of them, to be honest. See no reason. For me's collaboration. I didn't get the blue one. I really want it, but Juvia's Place palettes are slowly coming to Superdrug, so I'll probably check it out during the Christmas season, see if they go on sale. But I like this because it's a really nice face palette as well. I like using the pink and the red as blush. Warrior 3 is another fun one, really nice and colorful. Looks like this. So bright. Pretty. She's not going anywhere. And then, oh, this one, the Tribe. Dun, dun, dun. Still have mine. The greens in this one is so pretty. Honestly, I'm feeling inspired. Going through my palettes, I'm feeling very inspired. And then we've got the Magic Mini. I had the big palettes before, and then I decluttered them, and then I bought the smaller ones because I feel like they're more practical to use, to be honest. Beautiful, colorful palette. I know some people didn't like the color story, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the jumbled up color story. And then the Masquerade one. This one's another colorful one. This is Juvia Space doing color before anybody was doing color like this. Neutrals and colors in a palette. Stunning. Definitely keeping. Okay, so let's do the P. Louise palettes. I love P. Louise. I love her packaging. They're bulky, they're big, they're obnoxious, but they're super stunning. So this one is the All I See Is Signs palette. And there's still one more I want to get. I know. At this point, like, why am I getting them? Like, the packaging is just insane. It's just insane. But this is the one I was saying. There's an orange there, and I don't think I need the one from Morphe that I'm hanging on to, so I'm gonna declutter the one that I put in the maybe pile because I've got this guy and I've used it. But I need to use it more, obviously. Okay, and then the Waldy palette, it's like this. This one's heavier. Definitely heavier. This one I've used a few times as well. Look at that. I mean, look at that. I wouldn't even be able to pick this up in a tutorial. I'd literally have to take my phone off and show. And then I recently, when he came out, I picked up the Watch the Queen Conquer palette. Can't even remember when I picked this up, but it looks like this. It's stunning. You've got two sides to this palette. I am a lover of the other side, not really this one. This one has the purples and the pinks, which is pretty. You can tell that I haven't even dipped my brush into the side. But then the other side has my heart. So you've got the greens, the orange, the brown. I've been here. This is a really good palette. P. Louise does really good eyeshadow palettes. I'm sorry. And I have no intention of getting rid of any of them. To be honest, I'm keeping them. Okay. The last thing on this shelf pretty much is the book of, what is this? Okay, so I've got a Z palette with some Colourpop shadows that are pretty old. Probably going to declutter all of them. And then I've got the book of shades palette from Decluttering. And I have some really unique looking shimmer shadows. Like, they're so pretty. They're so, I mean, look at that one, like a mossy green. They are so unique that I've managed to put in this palette. So I'm gonna bring this one front and center because I've got a neutral side and I've got a colorful side. So we're gonna sort this out. So yeah, these are all the eyeshadow palettes. So pretty much I'm only getting rid of 5, I think. The last one is the Ace Beauty. So I'm going to declutter this. Like, I'm just gonna declutter it because there's no point. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just pop them all in there. I'm not gonna arrange them right now. Once I've done the last declutter, the last layer, then I'll sort it all out in the way I want to arrange it. But for now, I'm just gonna whack it all in there. And then I'll come back and show you how many we are getting rid of in the end. All right, so this is it so far. Remember, just ignore it looking messy. So what are we getting rid of? We're getting rid of this one. This is the 3503 palette. I don't need it, you know? So she's gonna go. So that's one. Getting rid of the Ace Beauty. So that's 2. Getting rid of the Beauty Bay palette. 3. The 35W palette, the one with the broken pan, so that's 4. Lion King 5, the other Lion King 6, Dido 7, and the Making Bank 8. I'm getting rid of 8 eyeshadow palettes from this layer. I already knew this layer was going to be difficult. Well, if you thought that layer was difficult, the next layer I think is difficult as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and turn on your notification bell so you know when next I release a video. Yeah. And remember, God doesn't like ugly. Be nice to someone today, and I will catch you in the next video. So everything will be linked in the description box on where I got you. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and can't wait.